Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be going through the St Kilda vs Melbourne game, in which Melbourne keep their finals hopes alive, winning both games in their double game week to really put themselves back in the picture for finals, I'm pretty sure. They're now at one. They're actually just percentage out of the 8, but a massive percentage out of the 8, so they're not going to catch up that percentage that they need to, being that they're about 40% behind the 8. Let me just check. What are they? They realistically are about 120 points for, about 20 goals behind what they need to be inside the 8, as they're about 100 points down on their a percentage of 100, and they need to be at about 110% to get into the 8 at this current time. So it is just about victories, and I think a loss there against St Kilda a couple of days ago would have probably seen the end of their season. But anyway, they won, and they're through to the next round, I guess, almost in a way. They've got through one test, and we'll go through this video here. As you see, Serene Watson top scored for St Kilda, and the likes of Kate Hall top scored for Melbourne, which was good for me to a certain extent, other than Sinead Goldrick forgetting how to score for half the game. But Serene Watson, 78, she's just getting her job done. Simple as that. She had 3 tackles as well. She didn't even have the mass disposals or the mass marks that she likes to have. But yeah, 5 marks, 3 tackles. This is just sort of what I expect out of a halfback type of game. We see this a lot from Daisy Darcy, something similar to this, maybe a little bit more lopsided with sort of 3 or 4 marks rather than 5 and 4 or 5 tackles instead. But this is sort of around the marker that we expect. And she got a 78. That's perfect. Job done. Richards, 8-6-5-5, 14 touches, 5 marks, 5 tackles for a 76. Very, very good. Jessie Wardlaw kicked 3 goals and only got a 74, which is almost basically what O'Dowd did. We'll get to O'Dowd with her 62. So Jessie Wardlaw has to kick basically 2 or 3 goals just to match a ruckman. It sort of just shows to you where it's at. And so yeah, Jessie Wardlaw probably is not someone that I'd be targeting, because she basically is relying on goals to be fantasy relevant, especially in a position with only one player on field. You kind of have to get that best top of the line or top 2 or 3. You cannot be relying on a key forward that can go very, very pear-shaped if it goes wrong. Tiana Smith, 74. She didn't do the best across her double. It was basically actually Beeson that was the best one to grab. But yeah, 74 for her. 18 touches, 5 tackles. Just didn't get the tackles up enough to really be fantasy relevant for the second game of their week. Lambert, 66, Jacobson, 63, Stevens, Nalder, Anderson, McDonald. You can basically just go down this list and just... None of these girls are really fancy relevant at the moment. The one that I do want to track a little bit in the next, sort of over the rest of this season, is Vesely. I think that she could be one. I just want to see her. When she gets in the CBA, she generally scores a little bit better, it seems. But then again, you also see here a 103 and 66. So she's tracking as one that when she gets CBA, she scores well. But when she doesn't score well. So it'll be an interesting one to look at, because she could be one that fires up. But I'd have to look at some background stuff to see if that is the case. But I don't... She's one that I've been sort of keeping an eye on this year as to how she travels, and she seems very up and down because she had a hot start to the year, and I thought, oh no, I picked the wrong sort of St Kilda girl, and no, seems like she's slowed down quite a lot, so it will be interesting to see what the reason behind that is. Priest, 43, Karras, 39, Wiley, Friend, and Plain. Then we go over to Melbourne, and this one's probably a little bit more of a conversation to be had. Kate Hall, obviously, everyone's probably going to have her by now. She's just absolutely smashing it in this sort of role that she's got at the moment. If we go to CBAs, get rid of that ad, and then go to Melbourne, you will see, where is Kate Hall? 85, 86, 87% last 3, and that's why she's doing pretty well. If we just go to, we can actually do it off this, honestly. There you go. We'll see exactly what we're seeing with Kate Hall in the last 3 weeks. She has gone 95, 72, and 105 in her last 3 games when she's played fully on ball. And then the previous 3 games before that, she had much less time on ball and went 57, 80, and 75. So she's well outscored it when she's playing on ball. And that's because she's a really strong tackler, being a lot taller than all of the girls. I'm pretty sure if you looked at her height, she would be a solid 6 foot something, I would think, maybe. She's 170. Wow, she seems a lot taller than when the girls actually play. So that's actually surprising that she's only, what, 5'8", is that? 5'7"? But that's a little bit surprising. She feels very much taller on the field. Yeah, 105 for her. Yeah, she just racks up the pill as well as getting a lot of tackles. McNamara, 31 touches, and like I was saying, she seems to always just pop up. And I don't think she was in the CBAs again this week. No CBAs. I'm pretty sure just playing, again, a sort of wing-ish role. Yeah, you can sort of see it wing, half-back, floating back there and just distributing, and she's just really good at it. Simple as that. And she collected 31 touches, 20 in the first game of the week, 14 that one, and 31. So she just, when she picks up the pill, she usually scores large, and she also has a good tackle base to go off of with 5.5 tackles a game, as well as 4 marks. That's pretty good for the women's game. Tyler Hanks, 90. Was Hanks the one that had something dumb, like 12 clearances or something? I think it was her that had all the clearances. Advanced stats, advanced stats, clearances. Hanks had 12 clearances, and if you look at the first quarter, she had 7. And then 7, 2, and then 2 again, and then 1 more after that, I would think. Yeah, 1 more. So, yeah, she had 7 clearances in the first quarter. She was just on fire and ended up with a 90. 22 disposals, 4 marks, 7 tackles. Pretty good effort there. Purcell, 66. 15 touches for her, 4 tackles. Fitzsimmons, 19 touches, 3 tackles, 65. Zanker is a key. 61, that's all right. Mithen, 52. Then we get down to Galdra. Galdra just couldn't get her hands on the footy, as simple as that. 12 touches, 3 tackles as well. Didn't get the tackles that she really needed to score well. Only a 49, but 49 is sucks, but I feel like she can bounce back. If we look at the CBAs for... if we actually look at the CBAs, she's out of the CBAs, so maybe it is time to move her on. But then again, you get worried because what did she score in the first game of the double? Pretty sure she scored an 80. So you start to get worried that she's going to pump up a big score sometime soon. 49, 82. Like these scores, 82, 70, 70, 104 are pretty good. It's just this 53 and this 49 that are really just sort of worrying a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know what I'll do with her, but she's one that could potentially move to a Webster or something like that in the coming weeks. If she is scoring bad again and that role isn't there and Webster continues on ball, maybe even a Sheeran or something like that. But she is still a watch, but I have faith in her, I think. Paxman, 44. She didn't do anything first half, came out second half, almost created a goal out of nothing. Gall, Campbell, Bannon, Chaplin, Watt, Heath, Taylor, Witherspoon, Pisano, Gillard, Lampard, and Hill. And that pretty much is the video there going through this game. A little bit of a shorter one just because basically right now out of St Kilda, the only one that you're really looking at is Serene Watson, I would say. I don't really like Jessie Lambert as well, only a 66. Forgot to mention that. She just did nothing first half. Pretty sure she was on 2 tackles at quarter time for an 8. So if you think about that, she scored 56 in the last 3 quarters, which isn't the worst. A 58 in the last 3 quarters, which isn't the worst. But yeah, outside of in St Kilda's camp, there's only really Serene Watson. There's no midfielder that goes large. Like you have Smith and Lampard both about 90 odd, which just isn't fancy relevant, to be honest, on a regular basis. They might have that spike game. But yeah, you have Serene Watson, who's in and around that sort of top 8 for defenders. And then you've got also Kate Hoare for Melbourne side. You've got Kate Hoare and probably Galdrick. But Galdrick is starting to wane a little bit. So there's a watch there on her. But Kate Hoare you need in that forward line because she is dominating and she's well ahead of the curve with all the other girls. But that pretty much is the video there. If you did enjoy it, remember to like and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And I will see you guys in the next recap. Bye, guys.